language is everyone speaking? Like English, I think, right? Timer. 5 minutes. Alrighty. So I'm gonna be speaker first. I guess everyone else should just say what they're doing.
I
You
will
good?
be observer first.
And I will be the active listener first.
All right. So, what I decided to speak about today is how my job search has been going for the last year, because that's a great topic. So, started in the IR of in the fall. That was not a lot of fun. It was hot. There were a million people there, and there were massive lines. I got to talk to like 10-ish employers, and then the first day, and then like 5 the second day that I wanted to talk to. Um, I think my interview skills are kind of terrible. Not interview. Sometimes I've gotten better at it over the last year, but like at the beginning, it was pretty bad when I would go up and talk to people and like ran out of stuff to say after like 30 seconds, which was not good. I think my resume was. I've been using the same resume for a year, and I think that's pretty solid though. Um, yeah, but yeah. So I didn't. I applied to a bunch because I don't really like how you have to apply like with a QR code to a lot of them while you're at the job fair. It's like, can you just take my resume and email me back, please? Um, but so I applied to some on like the QR code, and that didn't really work. I only got one hit from that festival, and it was like for what was even the company's name? I don't even. It was like a company that did like cogeneration plants for like power
Oh, okay.
plants. It was pretty cool. So I actually did 2 interviews with them, but then I heard back like in right before break, actually, like before winter break. So it took forever for them to get back to me, which is also another thing. It's like ghosted a million times. It's always a ton of fun.
Right.
Um, Heard back from them that I did not get the one position they had. So, it was close though. So
Nice.
some good interview experience there. Um, and then obviously I've also been applying to a bunch of places online, but that's even worse. Like that's literally the worst. If you can
Really.
avoid applying online, do not. I literally never hear back from the place. You get ghosted, and then like half a year later, or not even half, I've heard like a year later, they're like the auto reply emails like, oh, denied. It's like, well, you
Like,
could
are
have
you
told me
talking
that.
like through LinkedIn kind of applying and everything, or
Yeah, or like
just
there's a lot of them are like Workday they use, I think. It's like I
okay.
usually do it off their websites. I know a ton of people have tried. One of my friends tries through LinkedIn, and I'm like, it never worked through LinkedIn. Like, don't know why would you even attempt it through LinkedIn? Because that and like some of the other job search apps, I always find you're just like ghost applications that they're using for like
Yeah.
tax purposes or whatever. Um, but job search has been getting better. I did some applications over Christmas break, and I got one in Vermont, which was pretty cool because I like skiing in Vermont. So,
Heck yeah. Me too.
location correlation there. Um, it's like a plastic injection molding place, which I did an interview with them. I should hear back from them later this week for a second one if they're interested, or if they're not, they'll let me know. They said so. That's good.
That's awesome.
Hopefully we're not gonna get ghosted for like the 15th time. That's
Right.
terrible.
Right.
Um, but then we had the co-op fair last week, which was good. I went to that. Talked to probably like 5 places. I was looking more like some like manufacturer like HVAC systems and stuff like that because I like
Oh,
thermodynamics. Um, a lot of them weren't hiring for the summer, but a bunch of them gave me their cards for doing full-time positions. And also I did a couple applications for the summer position, so we'll see if I hear back from
okay.
them in like the
We'll
next
take
week or
that.
two. Yeah, pretty good. And then today's in-person spring fair I went to at the CORAC and talked to like 10 places there. A bunch of them were like more larger construction design firms that did like infrastructure projects. Um, and also a couple government like the Navy shipyards and some labs and stuff like that, which is pretty good. I actually got an interview with the Navy shipyard for tomorrow,
Nice.
so that's pretty good. Looking forward to that. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you have, listener, do you have any suggestions for me on how I can improve my job search?
I am listener, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I was getting confused with that. I'm sorry. No, I mean, I think that you're totally on ball, and I think that the fact that you're like kind of laughing while you're saying like all of these ghostings and everything that are happening is really good attitude to have because it happens to everybody, and like it's really good that you're not letting that stifle your search or stop you from. It's fine if you get 100 rejections if that 101 one is the one that you want. So I would say just persevere, and I think you're doing it right by keep trying.
All right. Well, that's been our 5 minutes right there. So good first round, I think.
Perfect.
Um,
Should I give my feedback or critique now or later?
yeah, I think it's now, and then we'll switch and then get through it again.
All right, so for the listener, I read the syllabus. You did great in everything, mostly, I would say. Really good at listening. You nodded a lot, and you were definitely listening and making conversation. Only critique I can really have for you is like asking more questions and actually have like a bit more of a conversation, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. It was a little awkward in my brain, like trying to make it
Yeah.
not official and more like a normal conversation. So that definitely makes sense.
I know it's kind of a weird thing because you were literally called the listener. It's not like you're the conversation
I
person.
know.
Like
Like, all
one
right,
person
let me
that's
take on
a
this
listener
role.
observer. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
I think that's about it though. Like you did pretty good, so no complaints.
All right. If you, what is it, Zachary, Zach?
Yeah, just
If you
Zach
want to
as
go
well.
to observer, and then what's your name? What do you go by?
Eben.
Evan. Okay. If you want to go to active listener, and then I can go to speaker. Does that work for everybody?
Sounds
Yeah,
good to
that's
me.
fine.
Awesome.
So
All right.
I'm observer now. You said?
Yeah,
Yeah, if that's okay.
I think yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure.
All right, so I am going to be talking about the Dynasties Hercules beetle because I have always had a huge fascination with bugs in general. But this one in particular is like one of the strongest bugs because it can lift over 850 times its body weight. And recently, I've been reading some research that's been happening like over the past few months through scientists that are doing some research like on their color changing shells, and they're seeing basically okay, their shells change color like due to like humidity changing, and they're thinking that maybe this could give like potential for like influencing like the future design of like some smart materials like camouflaging sensors or like protective coatings. Um,
Where are they
so I,
located at?
what was that?
Where do you find the beetles at?
Oh, that's a really good question, actually. So they're native to the rainforests of Central and South America, but Japanese culture actually always like held them as like a high like royal kind of standard, and so people, especially like recently, have kind of taken them on as a hobby. So they've definitely gotten out of their natural habitat. You'll even see them in the United States sometimes. Speaking of habitat, though, it's kind of why I got interested in them to begin with because their habitat, just like most other natural animals, like living out in the wild and everything, is under threat. So, um, deforestation, habitat loss, obviously,
They're in
is
danger of
really hurting them. Sorry, it's hard to hear you. What'd you say?
are they in danger of going extinct then, or
Yeah, I can't remember exactly if like where they're at on the list. I want to say it's the one right underneath endangered, like threatened, maybe.
okay.
But definitely something to look out for there. Oh, also something that's really cool with them is like in terms of biomechanics and like bio like inspiration, I guess is like what they do. So like they have like an enormous horn, and they actually kind of like mountain goats, like will fight like other beetles. And engineers and biologists sometimes like to look at this and like trying to put together like the strength to weight ratio and trying to use it like in things like aerospace or robotics, like how can we get that same type of like shielding and stuff, just because it's like a natural way, like how do we mimic that, if that makes sense.
That makes sense, yes.
Where should I go from here? Are we interested in their food, what they
Yeah,
how
that'd be actually,
they get their
what do they eat?
nutrients?
Are they vegetarian?
So they actually are like detritivores, which means like they eat like decaying matter, like decaying wood or organic matter, which makes them actually a really important part of the ecosystem. Because if you think about like the whole like nutrient, processing and everything, it's like they help break that down, and then it's like a sustainable type of like ecosystem. Um, One of the things that's like been hurting them with like the whole like being endangered is like their adaptability. Like sadly, they can adapt a little bit. We've seen some like Darwinism kind of traits, like where they've changed their mandibles, and stuff to get different food. But for the most part, they aren't great at adapting to like a drastically like changing environment. So
Yeah.
kind of like with global warming and everything kind of hurting them. Okay, I forgot to see what time I started. Does anybody know how long I've been talking?
I forgot to. I put it. I think like maybe like a minute more. If not, I
Okay,
think we're
okay.
probably fine.
How
But
big are
Um,
their mandibles?
What'd you say?
How big are their mandibles? Like, are they huge or?
Oh, that's a really good question. I honestly think the mandible, I want to say, is average size for what you would think that their body would be, but I can't remember exactly what how big that is. I will say though, during like the 19th and 20th century was when like they became really popular to collect,
Mm,
and maybe not as bad as deforestation, but that was kind of part of the problem too, like taking them out of like their natural habitat and everything, which you can imagine, like people want what they can't have, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But today it's recognized as like a really important species in like many of like the rainforest ecosystems, and it plays, like I said, a vital role in like decomposition and everything. So it's like really important in maintaining like soil health and nutrient cycling. So I love talking about it whenever I can to spread the word on the wonderful Dynasty's Hercules beetle.
I definitely will spread the word too now.
Thank you. Make sure you tell people, no matter how cute they think they are, which a lot of people don't think they're cute, that they should not take them home.
All right, we'll do.
All
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 right.
right,
right.
we're gonna call it there. Hopefully that was like
Yeah, no,
five-ish.
that's fine, I think. All right, my notes. So that was some good like open-ended questions to like let Nixon kind of fill in more information, but don't be like super specific. So you kind of let him go with talk about more, kind of get them more into the conversation. So I thought that went pretty well. Um, my note, I guess, would be like visually you could maybe give some cues like that you're following along a bit better, maybe kind of like some like or like like being like yeah I get that, kind of like some visual cues might help a bit, but other than that that was good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's because my mic is being really screwy right now.
that's
My
very fair.
bad.
Good questions though, for sure, because it got me thinking. I had a sheet here in case I like messed up, and I was like, oh yeah, actually I did want to talk about that. So nice job.
Gotcha.
All right, so then we all just assume the role we have not done yet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I
All
shall
right.
sit back.
I don't want to. I'm just gonna also talk about my employment problems right now because I didn't really have anything in mind, and then you reminded me that oh yeah, I do have that problem right now as well. So we're gonna
Let's
talk
hear
about
it.
that as well.
Perfect.
All right. Am I good to start now? Or yeah, I probably should set up a
Yeah, you're
timer too.
good. I just
Yeah,
started the
set a
timer.
timer for yourself so you don't
You
pull an
set a
extra.
timer, Zachary?
Yeah, I did.
All right. I guess I'll start now then. So, yeah, I need a job desperately, specifically an internship. Uh, Last summer I didn't even have a job. I was taking summer classes and I worked a job at a little bit of end of summer, which was at the state fair. Not fun. Don't work there. Uh, yeah, so I'm just desperately trying to find a job right now. I'm going to the career fair tomorrow, and I'm hoping that goes well. I've been applying to places like crazy online, and as you said, Zachary, it isn't working out. I do get responses, but they're all no's basically. Like oh, thanks for applying, but no.
Yeah, that's rough. I definitely have had that experience before. Do you think I mean, so you said you're going to go to the career fair tomorrow. That's a good plan.
Yeah,
Are you kind of like looking for anything specific? Because I've also found that kind of helps sometimes if you can look for like a specific thing you're interested in, and then like you probably a bit better at talking to the people then because you're interested in it more.
yeah, I will say that there is a lot. When I was looking for internships over winter break, there were a lot of construction project management. I'm trying to go for a project management internship specifically. There's just so many construction project management, and I don't really want that because they all want people who know about construction, and sadly enough, I don't know anything about construction. So it makes it very hard to get a job with them. Uh, so I do need to still look at like what companies are coming tomorrow, and I want to pick out a specific few. I'm printing out my resume to give to like these specific companies, and I'll also just try looking around to see if there's any like open places that don't even know that they're looking for a project manager, hopefully, and I'll just slip them that. Hopefully that will go well. And then, yeah, I'm just really
Yeah, that's
hoping that
good.
this career is it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good plan. I mean, I guess one question I'd have is like, I guess you've probably have you had someone else look over your resume? Because I've had in the past where like I haven't had anyone look at. I'm like, oh, there's like three typos there that someone would point out to me in like the first minute and a half of looking at it. So that might be a idea if you haven't had that yet.
Yeah, I used Purdue's, I think it's called CCO resources, where they like look over your resume or like an official person, and then they'll like send it back to you. I sent it last semester, and I still got quite a few things to fix on it. I've been fixing it up today. So I've been changing. Apparently, I still sent it out when it said I'm a junior when I'm a senior, and it said I'm still looking for a job for summer 2024. So it's a good thing I caught that before I started handing that out tomorrow because that would have not looked good at all and very unprofessional probably.
That's great. Yeah, I guess the only other thing is you come up with your like elevator pitch, like, or not
Oh
elevator,
yeah.
but you're like kind of quick blurb that you say about yourself.
Yeah, I do need to practice that. Thanks for reminding me. I'll just look that up again tonight because I totally forgot everything about that. And then
Yeah,
what?
that's rough. I've had that happen to me in the past, but I
Yeah,
found typing it like out can help sometimes.
gotcha. Yeah, maybe I'll just have a little note card or just write it on my hand. That could probably work, right?
Yeah, that can definitely work.
All right. Is that about 5 minutes?
I've got like a minute and a half-ish left. I mean, if you just want to talk about something else, that's fine too.
All right. No, I can continue on. Oh yeah, I still need to use more of Purdue's resources because I have not been using them at all. And I'm definitely just shooting myself in the foot at this point.
I mean, because I mean, I know they have the career fairs and stuff, but like, what other resources are you thinking? I mean, I guess they got the CCO, which can
Yeah,
help. I think,
I
do
think
they
that
do interview prep sometimes? I don't even know
I
that.
think they do interview prep sometimes. I forget when. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it is CCO, but I'm pretty sure like you can also like upload your resume to like the specific type of major or college you're in, and like you get like all the companies that are like alumni or whatever, they can just look at your resume and see who you are. So even if there's not a career fair, like companies can still like find you and look for students who need jobs. So I probably should also take advantage of that if that's still around.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a great idea. I think that you'll definitely have luck if you try that. Um, yeah, I mean, it sounds like you got a good plan. I think that with really the career fair, the edit, making sure everything's polished, preparing what you're going to say, I think you'll have success tomorrow.
Do you have any recommendations for me as they?
I guess just like I don't know, make sure you look presentable when you're talking to them. If you have any people like you like know, like be like ask around, like if you have any networking, like networking
Mhm.
helps a lot. Um, trying to think of anything else. I think it's just being persistent is the big key.
Yeah,
I mean, I probably applied to like 70 jobs and I've been what I said I got hit by like one. So I think that you'll definitely be fine. Just a lot. You just gotta keep trying, I think.
gotcha. Yeah, I've had a lot of my friends around me too. Like, I think my friend applied to about 150 internships and did not get a single hit.
Yeah, no, it's rough.
Yeah, I'm hoping that doesn't happen to me.
Well, I don't think it will. I think you'll do fine, hopefully. Hopefully you'll do great, I think. Um
Perfect. Thank you.
now you just gotta have self-confidence, I think sometimes. I
Yeah,
think sometimes that's a really big key. They can kind of smell it if you're like unsure of yourself.
gotcha.
All right, well that we've hit our 5 minutes for that, so done with
Now
all
I'm
the
like
speaking.
jealous of how that went because it sounded like the most natural combo out of all three of those.
I guess
Together,
because I mean it makes
I would
sense. I mean
say.
I
I
heard
mean, we just
everyone
had it.
else's.
Those were our warm-ups. We didn't know, but this is our first time
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
this kind
yeah,
of.
yeah. No, but in all seriousness, I think you did a really good job one of like making it like a real conversation. From the beginning, you were nodding, you were very engaged, obviously, the active style that they're wanting. You were relating to the listener throughout too, which personally I know when I'm this or relating to the speaker and like personally like when I'm the speaker, that always makes me feel more confident and just like calm and like what I'm saying. You gave great feedback. It was totally on point with what he was talking about to the point where I genuinely think this might have been a productive conversation for whatever you have to do tomorrow. It was nice too that you were able to flow it like really well into personal experience so that like the feedback you're giving him is actually like maybe like relatable advice that he can carry with it. So he wasn't just wasting his words. He was actually having a conversation, letting you know something, but getting something back from you as well. Um, you asked questions, I think, to continue it when he kind of stopped and it picked up very naturally and kept good with like the flow of the conversation when it could have gotten stagnant. Again, like very encouraging, which is probably a good confidence boost to whoever's speaking. You were very personable, and I think overall the advice that you gave was good advice. So I think in terms of active listening, that is pretty good one to follow.
Any like things I
No,
didn't do?
I was like sitting here. I'm sure there's something you could have done better because I don't want to be like you did
Mhm.
100% correct, but like if there was, like, it wasn't like a consistent thing.
Super
So, like,
identifiable. Okay.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, maybe looked away or something, but it's like I looked away too because I'm super ADHD. So it's like I feel like you were very engaged, and overall, you were a very good active listener there.
Okay, that's great. So that's this it then? Is that all we had to do?
I think so. I was
So
reading it.
will we be like in the same group for like the rest of the role plays?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we're doing it for
Then
the
hopefully
rest
like
of
she'll
this.
give us a bit of grace for this one and just know like the awkwardness of like it feeling more formal, you know, and stuff. But I think with this being our first conversations together in general, I'm being told, hey, like hop on screen, record yourself, and talk for 5 minutes with a stranger.
Yeah.
I think we all did pretty great.
It's gonna get
No, I think-
worse. Our next role play is supposed to be 8 minutes long for each conversation, and then the next one's 12.
Yeah, I need to plan what I want to talk about more next time. So.
We might all need to get okay talking about like politics or hearing shit we don't like want to hear
Yeah, some
because
random news or something.
that's all I like watch.
I need to like prep myself. I'm gonna have to like write myself to script and like just like
I'm gonna have to like write down some ideas whenever we're having like, oh, I can talk about this.
yeah,
No,
I'm gonna have
literally.
to like look
Honestly,
up like
though,
things.
I think as long as like we are like really good like active listeners, ideally that'll really help the speaker because like once you come to like a pause, kind of like happened there, like we'll be able to keep going. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, I
8
think
minutes
that's an
sounds
important
awful,
aspect
but
of it.
yeah, if we can make it like actually a conversation, then we could talk for hours. So I think we're good though. Do you guys know other than obviously like cutting this recording and uploading it, was there anything else we have to do with that?
Yeah, there's like a paper thing we have to
Oh
write.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
there's
okay.
like a template for it, and I think it's like 2-ish pages long, and you just kind of writing like feedback and stuff. But that's individual,
Okay.
so.
That's
Okay,
individual.
awesome. And then oh sorry, did I just speak over you?
No.
Oh, okay. Does only one of us have to submit the video then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Here-
Awesome.
here-
Where does it say specifically about the video posting? Is it like in the like an
It was in the
instruction part
syllabus.
for
Where
it?
did
Is it in
this-
the syllabus? Okay.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see. You will record using a personal device, upload your video to a personal YouTube account, share your link with the instructor through Brightspace. Let's see.
I guess I could just send everyone the link, or like I can just email everyone the YouTube link,
Yeah.
and then each of us share it just in case.
I was trying to find where's the critique form. Like I read that in here and
It's
I was very
in week 3, like with the role play, like
Oh, like in the
thing, it's-
content?
Yeah, in the content part of it.
we have to
Okay.
do that individually.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
pretty
here it
sure
is.
that's what it said. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out this wording. It says the critique form is one document that should be completed by all members of your group. It includes all 3 rounds of each role play. One document needs to be submitted for each role play day.
So wait, is that one person or?
I don't know. I'm confused too.
Wait, where are you reading that from?
In the syllabus, it says the critique form is one document that should be completed by all members of your group and includes all 3 rounds of each role play. Only one document needs to be submitted for each role play day.
Okay, so
Yeah,
what
so
I
that
say
means
we
one.
do-
That means one shared document. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say I say we create a Google Docs with that in it, so then we at our own time throughout, you know, tonight and tomorrow morning can just go on and add our fair share of it.
Can I just share the Word document with you guys? Does that work?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
totally
No?
fine.
All right, because I just downloaded the template, so I can just share that.
Yeah,
I'll do that at the
that's
same
totally
time.
fine.
I
Because
post
then
the video.
we can still edit on there like together, like you can on Google
Yeah,
Docs, right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's totally fine with me then. Total transparency, I will definitely get my fair share of that done, but I do work from like 6 to like midnight if we get to close early, so
Yeah,
it'll be later.
that's no problem.
Yeah.
I was gonna plan on working on it a bit, but I gotta finish some nuclear engineering homework. That's gonna
Yeah.
be kicking my
Oh,
butt.
geez.
Yeah, it's not been fun. I don't understand any of that math. But alrighty then. Talk to you guys. I'll be texting you guys later probably about stuff. But
Hell yeah.
Gotcha.
see you guys.
Sounds good. Nice to meet you guys.
Bye.
Hey,
Bye.
as well.
Yeah, nice meeting you.